Okay, walking through the process here. So, I guess just to explain what I did to get to this point. Using a 1/4 inch drill bit, I gotta find one that hasn't been drilled, this one. They fit nicely down inside, and then using my digital level,
Yep.
I can go this way and see that I'm right where I want to be, right at 90, and go this way and see that I'm right at 90. I'm within 0.2 of a degree according to that. Tilting the table this way, so it's the 3 or 4 degrees this way, and then doing the current ones I'm doing, which would be the intake rocker pedestals. These ones I'm using a 3/4 inch piece of plywood to tilt it, and that was like perfect. At least when I did my measurements. Another thing I did was I actually took a socket and stuck it on top of the pedestal, and then using the socket I was able to put on my level, whoop, and find, and of course I'm bumping things around right now, but that got me where I wanted to be. And then, yeah, so from here, I was doing it differently, but the more I did it, the faster I got. And so I start by just trying to align my stud cutter up, because it was already in the drill press from the last cut. So right there, the stud cutter seems pretty good. These outer ones are a little tougher, and so I'll actually hold everything in place by pressing down on the stud cutter. Seems like it's good. And then I'll come in and clamp with a variety of clamps. And no, my woodworking clamps are not my preference, but it's what I had. And so I'm using what I got. That's kind of one of, my themes as I get by with what I have. Not a machine shop, not a professional, just a guy who likes working at home. And so that looks pretty good. So that was just to get things lined up. So now I will switch on over. I've got the table right at a height where I've got to kind of sneak my 3/8 drill bit in at an angle, and then lift it up just slightly. Okay. Now this is the part where I don't know if it'll be perfect for a video, whether it's going to be fast or slow. But if I did a good job with the first thing, oh wow, that's like perfect. Okay, well that time, I'll even turn this a little. And then, I know you probably can't see, but basically I bring down the drill press and I watch, and if there's the slightest tipping of the drill bit, the direction it tips is the direction I need to hit from. So if it tips this way, I need to whack from that side and move it over this way. If it tips that way, then I need to whack from that side over. This, there's like nothing there. And I'm already going down a hole that already exists. So in my mindset, I want this as close as I can. I want this to be accurate, but at the same time, I'm chasing down a hole. It's not like I'm cutting an angle from scratch. Now, I have just been filling that hole up with fluid. Oh yeah. Drop it down. It's a 1-inch deep hole. I've measured it a bunch of times. Every time was 1 inch. And so I set my stop, see where it is when it's touching. And I'm just at like, let's see here. That is 4, 3, 2, 1. Wait, okay, so I want to be at, my brain stopped working just for a second. Okay, right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that really where I'm at? Wait, like this. Down. There. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm going to go up to 1. My brain again. Okay, 1 1/4. Going up. 1, 2, 3, 4. There. Okay. Had a little bit of a brain fart there, but so I dropped it down, then I raised it up to 1 inch. I'm also paying attention to which way. This is like the quick release. I'm paying attention to which way it's facing, because I've noticed this thing will spin a little bit as I'm drilling. Not so much with this, but with the cutter. That goes. I'm moving slightly slower while talking and trying not to look like a moron on camera. Okay, so done there. I like to get the chuck keys popping out so I can see which way to stick a mic. Whoop. Now, it didn't do it this time, but twice I've actually had it drop and land and stick in the hole, which has made me feel awesome about my alignment, because obviously it's, it's pretty well aligned if it actually drops in like that. I know I've got it on video, on an earlier video where I was just randomly recording short stuff. So again, I'm going to go and, gotta remove my stop. Oh yeah, see, that slides right in, as it should, without any, doesn't bump her at all. I've had it though where the table shifted a little bit because it got bumped, or these guys' clamps weren't down as good as they could be. It's obviously a lot tougher when the head's off. These outer ones are really tough. The inner ones are much easier to do. So that's good to go. So once again, I'm going to go down, drop my stop, and this I have been doing about 1/4 inch. You know, when I did the math, I've read what said online, but my mindset is when I measured these from the pedestal top to the bottom, I was getting right around, actually I didn't, turn this on because it's digital and I can't actually see what the measurements are since it's not an actual one. Yeah, so 0.17, that's pretty consistent of what I've seen right along there. And then I know that my, my rocker guides are about 0.12. Put that together, you get 0.29. So you're getting about, again, 0.29, 0.3. And 0.3 is what the measurements from Ford say. And so I've been doing 0.25, and then I'm usually taking off a tiny bit more. But I'd rather take off a little bit too little and, have to figure it out than taking off way too much. So at that point, my stop is set. And it's actually, I'm doing a hair over 0.25. So I'm using this thing, the fractions on it, shooting for 1/4, and then doing like a 1/4 turn more on my stop. And so, yeah, here we go. So now, as I read someone else noting, I probably watched, there's like only one other video I could see with a 351 Cleveland and someone using this setup. But these little high spots, which I guess at this point I'm done with this one, but those little high spots, that's not what I meant to do. That are right there. I'm just going to have to knock those down. I mean, I could probably just whack it with a chisel and it would take care of it. And yeah. There we go. Just got to tap these guys and we'll be done.